Kumi peace, hello my loves, marhaba habibete. Welcome to Foundation Review Monday. Who missed Foundation Review Mondays more than me? I don't think anyone. I had been on a foundation review kick. I think the last time I linked my foundation review playlist there was like 30 videos, which is insane. I can't believe I've tested that many foundations. But even when I took a break I missed them, and so I actually got a couple of foundations that I'm going to review for you guys over the next coming weeks. So yeah, that's exciting. We're going to start with the Rimmel today. I have the full coverage foundation, or the color Riche, I believe, from Illamasqua for next week, hopefully. And one of you asked for a comparison between it and the Skin Base, and they're definitely two very different foundations. So yeah, that'll be next week. And then the week after, I've got an Urban Decay beauty balm, like a BB cream. I think that's what it is. Anyways, we'll get to that in 2 weeks' time. But for today, let's talk about this exciting new product from the drugstore. So I was in Boots. I don't know what I was getting, but I was in Boots. And I saw the display for these 25-hour lasting finish foundation, and like there's a primer and there's a powder. And I'd seen commercials for them. I think it's Mick Jagger's daughter that's their representative over here. Like the commercial that was airing, I think I saw it on YouTube actually before in my videos. Not my videos, but a video I was watching. She's like at like Coachella type event and she has this on and she's all happy. And so when I saw the display I was really excited, and what was doubly exciting was that because these were launching new, they had discounts on them. So this one usually retails, I want to say, for $6.99, $6 or $7.99, and it was £3 off. So I got this for under £5. I can't remember if it's $3.99 or $4.99, but I got it for under £5, which is amazing. And I thought, there's, you know, it's a sign. It's new, it's on sale, we gotta give it a try. And I am so glad I did. So this is the Lasting Finish foundation from Rimmel, I've gathered, has been on the market for a while. This is new because it has a lasting comfort serum in it, so it's supposed to be more comfortable to wear. I don't know who wears their foundation for 25 hours, like I guess if you're traveling maybe, but I definitely haven't been able to have it on for 25 hours. I'm about at 15 hours now, and I think that's as late as I'm gonna get to with it. And I've been testing it over a couple days, which is exciting, so that I can sort of put it to the test in different kinds of conditions. But I want to show you guys at the end of the day so you have an idea of what it looks like at the end of the long wear of it. It is said to be a full coverage foundation. I'm gonna pop my glasses on for a second because I can't read the back of the bottle. Let me do that once. So it says it's supposed to be full coverage foundation enriched with a comfort serum, instant perfect coverage that feels extra comfortable and lasts all day. Do you like my announcer voice? Sweat, heat, humidity, and transfer proof for up to 25 hours. Coverage that won't let you down. Dermatologically tested. I'm going to take these back off because the glare is going to drive me crazy. There are only 6 shades in the range, which isn't amazing. But there's a decent amount of variety in the ranges. I think if you're very pale or sort of have a darker skin tone, you're going to have trouble with this foundation. But if you lie somewhere in between, you might be okay. So for reference, I have an NCNW25 from MAC. And I will link my foundation review playlist down below if you don't know your MAC shade and you know your shade in one of the other foundations I've tested. And I picked up the shade 200, which when swatched is my perfect shade, but I will say that this oxidizes and so it gets a little bit darker. So having known that, I may have gotten the shade 100, but I kind of like this more bronzy tone to the foundation. I will say it probably oxidizes, not a full shade, maybe half a shade, but it oxidizes sort of slightly more like tanned, you know, not necessarily darker, but like a more tanned color, which again, I don't mind on myself, but that's just something to be wary of. So if you are able to sort of test some out on the back of your hand and go for a walk and come back, do that, just because you might want to check how it's going to oxidize on you, or just pick a shade lighter is the other thing. What was I gonna say? It is quite comfortable. This is it at the end of the day. I'll bring you in a minute and show you, but I did want to talk to you guys about application. It doesn't have a really present scent to it. I'm trying to remember from this morning, but it doesn't really have a scent to it when applied. and it goes on. I wouldn't say it's a full coverage. I will say that with one sort of application, it's probably like a light medium coverage, and then if you build it up, it builds up nicely. It doesn't cake up. You can build it up and get about a medium coverage, but I still had to go in there with a concealer on areas I had or blemish scars or that kind of thing. So I will say it blends quickly. It's nice and buildable, but it's not a full coverage. The other thing about it that's actually sort of interesting is that at about 2 hours wear time, my natural oils sort of started poking through. So in my T-zone and on my chin, I got really glowy. I went in with a blotting pad or blotting paper and blotted that down. And then for the rest of the day, I was fine. But it's strange that on every day that I've worn it, it's about that 2-3 hour mark, all my oils seep through. It doesn't eat through the foundation, which is great, but it does get a little bit shiny. So I'm not a huge fan of the shine in that area, and so I blotted it down. But what is phenomenal about this guy is that it looks just as good at the end of the day than it does at the beginning of the day, which is absolutely phenomenal. I saw my sister when I was wearing this, and she's like, "Are you wearing the Tom Ford foundation?" I'm like, "No, I'm wearing a super cheap drugstore foundation that I got on sale." So she was just in shock, and so was I, because I usually have had really hard luck with drugstore foundations. Let me bring you guys in and show you up close what it looks like. Ignoring the wonky eyebrow, or the eyelash, because it's being a pain in the butt today. But can you see how, like, I still have quite a lot of blush on? None of, like, I've got some bad blemishes going on back here. With the concealer, I put the concealer on first and the foundation on second, and it sort of just sealed that in place. There's nothing poking through. Like, my chin is nice and covered. Even on my nose, we had Mexican for lunch today, so I was blowing my nose, and there's just really minimal, not degradation, but there's minimal wear even around my nose. I'm such a fan, and it gives sort of a really beautiful airbrushed finish. I will say it's probably more of a dewy than a matte finish, so if you're not a fan of dewier foundations, this might not be for you. But if you want sort of a really nice glowy airbrushed look, like, I can't even see any pores, like, it's a whole thing. I am so excited about this guy. I'm half tempted to, like, go buy a backup since it's still on sale. But yeah, I wanted to show it to you guys up close to show you sort of, even at the end of a long day, what it looks. So I didn't on this time around, I didn't pick up the primer or the powder because I've got stuff that I really love to use, and so I didn't necessarily want to put those to the test. But I did pick up the foundation, and I'm so grateful I did. Let me know if you guys have tried it out, the new version or the old version, what your thoughts are. And yeah, there is an SPF 20 in this, so if you're worried about flashback in flash photography, you will probably get a flashback because it has that SPF in it. But it's really lovely. It's great that it's a glass bottle from the drugstore. Glass bottles, I just find that, I don't know, I prefer them to plastic bottles because I feel like they're better for the longevity of the foundation. And it's a cute little sleek bottle that you know, I think sort of adorable. I feel like I talked really quickly and really enthusiastically, and anytime I get enthusiastic I tend to forget things. So if I did, please ask any questions that I may not have addressed down below. I will get back to you down there. I think that's it for me today. I'm just going to do some points of positivity and be done. My first point of positivity is just texting with some friends. I had a rough night last night. Nothing major, just had not a really fun dream, and so it was really just such a blessing to wake up and have someone else I knew and loved on the other end of the internets there to give a couple words of comfort. So that was definitely my first point of positivity. My second is getting to Skype with my grandma. I love that my grandma's on Skype. And so I got to Skype with her, and that was really just a fun little moment we spent together. And then my third point of positivity is one of my most beautiful friends recently had a birthday, and it was sort of a love fest of a day in which she's not here, so we didn't get to celebrate in person, but it was voice messages back and forth, and we're both crying, and we're both like just overwhelmed by the love, and it was a really happy moment. Those times of celebration are always extra special. That is it for me today. It is getting super late, so I'm going to head off here in a little bit, but I wanted to sit down and chat with you before I did that. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate the time you take to watch videos, to comment, to just be here. It means the whole world to me, so thank you. I want to wish you guys a fantastic day, whatever it is that you are up to, and I can never leave you without reminding you that life is just way too short to wear boring lipstick. Bye guys.